Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to dive into a pretty powerful idea. What if the education system isn't actually broken? What if it's working exactly as it was designed to? And what if that design is meant to hold you back?
Okay, let's kick things off with a little puzzle. Think about these two guys, Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg. Now, besides being insanely rich and famous, what's the one surprising thing that really connects them?
Well, here it is. They both managed to sidestep a system, a trap, really, that most of us spend our entire lives inside, believing it's the only real path to success.
So, what is this trap, and how does it actually play out in an ordinary person's life? Well, it follows a path that honestly is probably going to sound incredibly familiar to a lot of you. It all starts with this simple promise we're sold. Go to college, get a degree, and you'll land a great job. But for so many people, that path quickly spirals into a cycle of low-paying work, mountains of debt from loans for a house and a car, and then you're stuck. Stuck working a job you don't even like, just to pay the bills. It becomes a life of necessity, not a life of passion.
And look, this isn't just some abstract theory. This is the real human cost of it all. This quote is from someone who did everything they were told to do. For 12 years, they followed the rules, got the degrees, only to end up feeling completely left behind and broken by the very system that promised them a future.
So, why does this happen? To really get to the bottom of it, we have to rewind the clock, way back, and look at why this system was created in the first place. And trust me, the answer is probably not what you think. You see, our modern education system wasn't born from some noble idea to create innovators and free thinkers, not at all. It was built to solve very specific, large-scale problems. Prussia needed soldiers who would follow orders. The Industrial Revolution needed workers who wouldn't question their bosses, and the British Empire needed clerks to help run its colonies.
And this is the absolute key. The very first model for mass public education, the Prussian system, was explicitly designed to limit independent thought. Its main goal was to create obedience, to produce soldiers who would just follow orders, no questions asked.
And as the world moved on, that same model just got a new coat of paint. The battlefield became the factory, and the factory became the modern office. But the core purpose? It stayed pretty much the same: to create a population that follows instructions, fits into a hierarchy, and doesn't rock the boat.
And this quote from Lord Macaulay shows you exactly how that system was brought to India. The point wasn't to enlighten people, it was to create a new class of administrators who were Indian on the outside, but completely British in their thinking and loyalty. They basically used Indians to help rule over other Indians.
Okay, so that's the history lesson. But what does any of that have to do with you, right here, right now? How are the echoes of these old systems still impacting our jobs and our lives today? Well, the argument is that even generations later, the system is still doing what it was built to do. It's a factory designed to produce employees, not entrepreneurs. Followers, not leaders. Why? Because the modern industry still needs a steady supply of affordable, efficient workers.
And what's the result of a system built to create employees? Well, it's pretty staggering. According to the ILO, a whopping 42% of graduates under 25 in India are unemployed. Think about that for a second. A degree, which is supposed to be your ticket to a career, doesn't even guarantee you a job.
And what about for those who do manage to find a job? The payoff can be unbelievably low. This comparison is just wild. A truck driver in the United States can earn more than 10 times the salary of an average engineer in India. How does that even make sense?
Which brings us to this really harsh, uncomfortable truth. You can spend a quarter of your entire life playing by the rules of this system, only to end up working to build the dreams of a founder who probably succeeded because they decided to think outside of it.
All right, so we've seen the trap, we've looked at where it came from, and it can all feel pretty bleak. But the biggest question is, are you stuck? Is there another way to do things?
The way out isn't about giving up on learning, it's about a total mindset shift. It means you stop chasing the piece of paper, the degree, and start chasing actual high-value skills. It means your goal isn't just to get a job, but to become self-dependent. You can use online courses to learn from people who are actually doing the work, not just talking about it. And this goes for parents too, valuing what your kid can do over what their report card says. It even means rethinking something like a drop year. Using that time not just to study for an exam, but to actually explore and find what you're truly passionate about.
So here we are. You've seen the blueprint of the system, you know its history, and you see the results.
You're at a crossroads now, and you have a conscious choice to make.
You can stay on that conveyor belt, path number 1. It's the standard route, but it could lead to an average life, always worried about the next paycheck and spending your energy building someone else's vision. Or there's path number 2, your own way. It's harder, for sure, it's less certain, but it's a life built on your terms, with your skills, for your dreams. The choice is yours.